Hi, I'm Dr. Chad McGee, and here to talk with you today about deworming your horse. The big thing that we really want to take into account nowadays is strategic deworming. So, strategic deworming, what it is figuring out whether your horse is a high, moderate, or low shedder. This is going to be determined based on your horse's immune system. Each horse is going to be different, and so we want to figure out whether they're a high, moderate, or low shedder, and then get a deworming protocol that's tailored to them. So in order to do that, we'd want to give them a period of time without having any dewormer on board, and then do a fecal egg count where you look and see how many parasite eggs there are per gram of the horse's manure, and figure out whether they are a high, moderate, or low shedder, that's determined by the number of eggs per gram of manure. Different horses are going to be different based on their immune system. So you're going to have some horses that if they never get any dewormer, they're never going to get above, say, 200 eggs per gram of manure, where other horses are going to be perpetually higher. We want to figure out whether your horse, which category your horse falls into. Out of your herd of horses, you're going to have about 20% of them are going to wind up being high shedders. And 80% of the eggs that are on your pastures are coming from those 20% of horses. So we want to deworm those horses more often than our low shedders in order to help decrease that worm burden on our pastures. The other thing that we want to take into account with this deworming protocol is seasonality. For us up here in the north, we really don't need to deworm in the winter because these parasite eggs, you can think of it basically like a chicken egg or anything like that, where if it doesn't have that ambient temperature, it's not going to develop and it's not going to hatch, and so the parasite eggs, they're passed in an egg form. They need to get that ambient temperature, hatch from the egg, go through 3 different larvae stages before they're actually even able to infect your horse. So when it's really cold, that doesn't occur. We can use that seasonality change to our benefit and use our dewormers less. That's one of the other big things with strategic deworming is we want to use our dewormers very sparingly, because by constantly throwing dewormer at these parasites, every time these parasites multiply, there's always going to be some random mutations in their genes. Every so often, you're going to wind up having a mutation that arises that enables them to survive in the face of the dewormer, which is parasite resistance. So by constantly pounding these parasites with dewormer, all we're doing is killing off all of the parasites that the dewormer is effective against, and then just giving free rein for these ones then that are resistant. There have been studies done where they've actually developed parasite resistance on a herd of horses and maintained that herd for 10 years. So no horses on the farm, no horses off, maintained a closed herd, and then retested and still found that there was parasite resistance present there. So once you wind up getting parasite resistance in your population of parasites, it's there for keeps. So we really want to try to avoid that so that we actually have some dewormers that work. It winds up oftentimes saving the horse owner money, because they're able to do a fecal egg count, figure out whether their horse is a high, moderate, or low shedder, and typically saves them some dewormings throughout the year. So it saves them some money on dewormer. It runs less chemicals through the horse that they don't necessarily need, and it helps to push off parasite resistance on your farm. So it really is a win-win on all fronts, and something that we strongly recommend here. Hopefully we answered some questions again for you guys out there, and thanks. Take care.